Russia and Ukraine have carried out a surprise prisoner swap involving nearly 300 people, the largest since Moscow invasion began nearly 7 months ago. Those released include prisoners of war from countries including United States, the United Kingdom, and Morocco, some of whom had been sentenced to death after being captured in Ukraine and accused of being mercenaries. Russia also freed some 250 Ukrainians, including the five commandos who led a prolonged Ukrainian defense of the southern port city of Mariupol earlier this year. In exchange, Ukraine sent back 55 Russians and pro-Moscow Ukrainian leader Viktor Medvedchuk, the leader banned from Ukraine, who was facing charge of treason. The deal, hammered out with the help of Saudi Arabia and Turkey, had been under preparation for some time and involved intense haggling. This is clearly a victory for our country, for the entire society. And the main thing is that 250 in families can see their loved ones safe and home. Zelensky said in a video address in which he also thanked Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for his help. We remember all our people and try to save every Ukrainian. This is the meaning of Ukraine, our essence. This is what we distinguish from our enemy. Saudi Arabia earlier announced the release of the 10 foreigners following mediation by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. In continuation of a commitment to humanitarian initiative towards the Russian-Ukraine crisis, according to a statement from Saudi Foreign Ministry. The group includes 5 British nationals, 2 Americans, a Croatian, a Moroccan, and a Swedish citizen. The ministry said in a statement, adding that a plane carrying the prisoner had landed in the kingdom and that Saudi authorities are facilitating procedures for their safe return to their respective country. Ministry did not identify those released by name. British legislator Robert Jenrick said Aidan Aslin was among those freed. Aslin was captured earlier this year and sentenced to death by a court in the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic, one of the Russia's proxies in eastern Ukraine. Russia also released U.S. citizen Alexander Drake and Andrei Hinn. A family representative told the Reuters news agency on Wednesday. The pair of both from Alabama were captured in June while fighting in eastern Ukraine, where they went to support Ukrainian troops resisting Russian invasion. In a tweet, Jack Sullivan, U.S. President Joe Biden National Security Advisor, thanked Ukraine for including 2 U.S. citizens in the prisoner exchange. Sullivan also thanked the Saudi Crown Prince and the Gulf country governor for facilitating their release. We look forward to our citizens being reunited with their families, Sullivan told. British Prime Minister Liz Truss hailed the release of British national on Twitter as hugely welcome news. After months of uncertainty and suffering for them and their families, Truss said they had been held by Russian-backed proxies in eastern Ukraine and thanked both Zelensky and Saudi Arabia for helping free them. Deb Des Roses, a senior fellow at the Gulf International Forum, told that both Russia and Ukraine had an incentive to reach an agreement on the prisoners, while Turkey and Saudi Arabia had an opportunity to show their diplomatic norms. Saudi Arabia and Turkey seems to have a new era of cooperation, but I think is basically designed to get positive buzz and enhance the status of both countries that feel they are not getting the respect they have deserved in the West at a time when world leaders are meeting in New York. Large number of foreigners have traveled to Ukraine to fight since Russia's February 24 invasion. Some of them have been caught by Russian forces, along with the other foreigners in the country who say they are not fighters. Swedish Foreign Minister Ann Linde said on Twitter that Swedish citizens held in Donetsk has now been exchanged and is well. She also thanked Ukraine and Saudi Arabia. Prince Mohammed bin Salman has maintained close ties with Russian President Vladimir Putin, including within the framework of the OPEC Plus oil producer group, despite heavy pressure from Washington. Riyadh traditionally allied to isolate Russia. Ukraine and Russian forces have captured hundreds of enemy fighters since the start of conflict. A handful prisoner exchanges have taken place. The head of United Nations Human Rights Mission in Ukraine said earlier this month that Russia was not allowing access to prisoners of war, adding that the UN had evidence that some had been subject to torture and ill treatment that could amount to war crime. Russia denies the torture or mistreating POWs.